All right, good morning. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to be on here with you guys. I always consider it a huge privilege and a big honor to be able to jump on and to try and lead you well. Today, it's kind of a special meeting or call to order or whatever you want to call it. Last week, let me back up, not last week. So over the last month and a half, when we have been involved in the book study that we just completed, the leadership book through John Maxwell. And that book definitely spoke volumes to my heart. There's so much good stuff in that book. But the other thing that it did is it started really getting some wheels turning, and I couldn't really figure out. I don't know if any of y'all have ever had moments in your life where you were wrestling with something, but you really weren't sure what it was that you were wrestling with. As far as like your thoughts, I'm not talking about any kind of craziness, just the thought process of something where you're like, the Lord is speaking to you, that He's got a message for you, and you're just like, okay, but yeah, you're giving me all the information, but I'm still trying to figure out what to do with it. Maybe it's mom brain sometimes, I don't know, but sometimes it takes me a minute. But when it hits me, y'all, it hits me like a ton of bricks. Like it just is like a whoosh. And when that light bulb cuts on, it is bright, but the rest of the time I just walk around with it dim, I guess. I don't know. I just have spurts of really brightness. But when it hit me, I was just like, oh my gosh. And I kept thinking, I was like, yes, that's exactly what I have been struggling with. And that makes so much sense. And so I sat down and I was like, I got to write this out because I can't remember all this stuff. So I just started writing and praying, and it wasn't like one of those real highly emotional things. I was just so caught up in the moment. It was just so fast paced. And for like 35 or 40 minutes, I just sat and wrote all of these things that were just flooding through my mind, and all of these like light bulb moments, things that I have learned through that book, and the things that I've been praying about just diligently were just, it was one of those really cool, I'm not going to say rare, but just not, it doesn't happen as often, like full circle moments where everything just comes full circle and you're like, that is it. There it is. And so like 6 pages of notes later, here we are on a call for me to share my heart with you guys and be like, this made so much sense to me. And so my prayer is that it makes so much sense to you. And just by a lot of our private conversations within each one of you in the group, and I want y'all to know that I am diligently in our little goals and different things like that, I try to think of ways to connect each of you individually, because I know that we aren't always, distance, distance plays a big key. We're always busy. And so, and we're always focused outside of our group, growing our group and growing ourselves and our families. And it's hard to really connect with each other personally sometimes. So I am trying to cultivate that a little bit deeper, whether it's praying for each other or reaching out for each other. Know that is so intentional, because I want you guys to feel like you are part of something together, but also part of something so much bigger. And I know that this has just brought so much joy into my life. Like just the whole idea of having this community of women surrounding me. Like this was definitely something that I was missing, that I didn't know that I was missing. That's a whole nother topic, a whole nother day. But know that is so intentional, bringing you guys together like that. But I say that to say this, that you are all in some way, shape, form, or fashion saying the same thing to me. And I am saying the same thing back to you. And we're all in this really cool spot, I feel like, whether you're just coming into it, you've been on this ride with me for a long time, or somewhere in the middle. We're all focused right now, it seems like. We are definitely focused on our professional growth. We're definitely focused on sharing these products, but we're all very focused on personal growth, on leadership growth, on refining ourselves to be where we need to be personally, so that we can be where we will be professionally when those doors open. And that is just, it's incredible. It's really cool. Like if we all just took 2 seconds and thought about, what did my life look like this time last year? And just through this opportunity and just through these products, like, what doors has the Lord opened for me thus far? And it could be your 1 week and you're like, wow, I already know where this is going. Or it could be you've been doing this for 6 months and you're like, I can't imagine my life being any different than right now, other than bigger and better. And all of that has to do with how we are growing within our mindset. Everybody is shifting. We're all changing. We're all growing. We're all blooming into our own little selves. And we keep hearing all of this talk, and it's so intentional and purposeful, about mindset and growth. And that is exactly where we need to be. But here's the hang up. Here's where I was like, I get it. And it makes so much sense to me, everything that I read. But there's certain things where I just kind of go, well, does that, one, not apply to me? Or two, like, why am I not remembering that part of it? Why is that not sticking out to me when I need it to? Or certain things like that. So we have to kind of shift our focus. And today, that's what I want us to do. We're going to shift our focus. This is intended to be very encouraging. Let me say that first. But I want us to think about 3 things, okay? I want you to think about, and you can write these down or you can just mentally think about them. And I want you to think about it at the beginning of this call, and then I want you to think about it at the end of this call. And part of our goals this week is going to have something to do with these 3 things, okay? So, and I'll drop the little graphic on the 3 things in our group here in just a little bit. But kind of be thinking about this now and then afterwards also, and see if your thoughts change. So 1, am I doing things now that I did differently a year ago? Am I doing things differently? Like, how does your life look, kind of thing, than 1 year ago? And I'll tell you what sparked all this is that I've hit my 1 year with Plexus. And so it's gotten that's another thing. It's just gotten all this craziness going on in my head. Okay, the next thing I want us to think about is, do I believe, yourself, not me, you, do I believe that God has what's best for me? Do I believe that? Do I believe that He has my best intentions? And then the third question is, do I believe in this company or do I believe in myself? So those are the 3 things that I kind of want us to focus on. Is, where were you 1 year ago in your thoughts? Do you believe that God has your best intentions? And do you believe in the company or yourself? Okay. All right, so back to mindset and growth. We're doing lots of things on that, and I think that's exactly where we need to be. But I think before that all works out for us and those beliefs happen and those leadership qualities come out, are we actually believing and applying what we are learning? That's kind of like that word I love that I keep hearing Jessica Heffley say, is the pivoting point. The pivoting point is, are we actually believing and applying? Okay, so it's 2 steps, and you could be doing those 2 steps completely in the wrong order. You could be applying what you're hearing. You could be using those qualities. without believing in them. You could be believing in them and not applying them. The key, the pivot point, is both. That's where it all shifts. And it's really cool because it's just kind of like our products. It's just like the products that we take. We aren't band-aiding. We're not dealing with symptoms. We're getting to the root issue. So if we are not believing these things, like if this is not playing out in our life, if we are not where we want to be, what is holding us back? Like, because we can do mindset books and growth challenges and all kinds of goals all day long and still be right where we were this time last year or this time next year. We could still be in the same position professionally, even personally. What's going to hold us back? What is the problem? Where is the issue? I've got one word and I got a couple of symptoms. The root issue is insecurity. Okay? Here's our symptoms: comparison, doubt, disappointment, unfulfillment, unworthiness. Okay, so I thought about it this way. So, and this is kind of where that part hit me, is I went outside the other day and we keep all of our little, like when the kids leave water bottles laying around and stuff, I either use them for the animals' bowls or I put them out to take them outside and I water my little pot. I have 2 potted plants that sit on my front porch at our door. Those poor neglected flowers. And so I walk out there the other day and I started pouring a water bottle that was left out into the potted plant. Now, the plant is still green, it's still growing, it's kind of, a little bit, and that's what kind of made me think, I need to go put some water on that. Okay. So I poured my water bottle, like a half of a water bottle on top of it. And you would think that the flower being dry and hard would be like, water. But you know what happened is the water sat right on top of the soil and even came out over the pot and absorbed. That soil was too hard, it was too dry, and it couldn't receive the water that I was trying to give it. Even though the outside still looked like a healthy growing plant, there was fruit, there was flowers, there's still color. It's still not as vibrant, but it was definitely still alive, still fine, kind of. But the soil had started to change. Even some of the little roots were even starting to come out of the soil. I don't feel sorry for my plant. It's fine now. So I took that big old potted plant and I went and sat it on the front porch down on the steps. And I went and got the water hose and I was like, holy cow, I got to fix this. And I just turned that water hose on. And do you know what happened? The water started knocking soil all out of the pot. So when I started to abundantly provide all this water for this plant that needed it so desperately, some of it was going down in there, but the initial response was it was just flopping back out and it was taking soil with it. And so then I had to turn the water hose down, you know how to do it, and then I had to moisten it first. I had to get it primed, I guess you could call it, whatever you want to say. But I had to get it to a point where it was porous and it could absorb what it needed. So we can flip that around and look at ourselves. Are we ready? Like, we keep praying, like, God bless us with this in abundance, bless us with these opportunities, open the door for me, provide me with a conversation that I need, whatever that looks like, guys. But if our soil is dry, if we have those roots of insecurity, comparison, doubt, self-doubt, unworthiness, when God blesses us, what's going to happen? It's not going to absorb. It's not going to stick. It's not going to stay. We may not even notice it. We may not even realize what's going on when that comes, because we're going to do things like doubt it. question it, those kinds of things. Um, so we can kind of go back to, if we don't believe in ourselves 100%, if we don't believe that we are worth this blessing, then it doesn't really matter how much self-help books, mindset books that we are doing, not going to absorb. Doesn't matter how many conversations we have, your business will grow. It will, just like my plant, it will grow, but only to a certain degree. If we're not ready to receive what we are praying for, it's not going to soak in. Does that make sense? It's not going to stick. It's not going to stay. It's not going to be longevity. It's not going to be something that's going to leave a legacy for your children. It's going to be minimal. It's going to be temporary. And that's not what we're here for. We're not here for something temporary. From the products to the opportunity, there is nothing temporarily situated in this company. Nothing. Everything is set up for longevity. It doesn't matter what part of this company you are a part of, it is here for you longevity-wise. So I know you'll probably think we're going to go in one direction, and we've kind of gone into the opposite. Because I'm not talking about God bringing storms into your life, the negative kind. I'm talking about being ready for the positive things. I'm talking about getting beyond the excitement and actually being ready for those blessings. I'm talking about time freedom blessings. I'm talking about financial blessings. I'm talking about friendship blessings. I'm talking about influence blessings. God does not intend for us to live a life of mediocrity. He intends for us to live an abundant life. So I caught myself the other day, and I've been trying to be a lot better about this, especially after having my own little self-reflection with this whole aha moment. And so the other day, we had this little festival, and my hair, like my kids, trying to get them out the door, you know how it goes. And so my intentions was to take a shower that morning. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. And we had tons of things going on. So a hat it was, okay? And out the door I went. I put on makeup, had my cute little sunglasses I'm still so excited about because my kids hadn't stole those either. And so later that afternoon, doing some laundry and had my hat on still, because you know what's under there. And my husband's sitting on the couch, and he was like, I really like when you wear a hat and sunglasses and earrings and makeup. He's like, you're looking hot. And I was like, if you knew what was underneath this hat, you would not be saying that. I was like, but thanks. And I thought to myself, that was an awful thing to say. He was giving me a blessing, and I couldn't receive it because I didn't believe what he was saying. And so how much better received would that have been if he had said that and I had done something like, or said something like, oh yeah, you like my hat? And I'll leave it at that. But, what if I had turned that around and used that as an opportunity to receive a blessing, to hear something positive about myself and to soak it in? Because we all need that. We all need affirmations. We all need the words of affirmation. We all need gifts. When somebody gives you a gift, what do you normally do? Oh my gosh, you don't have to do that. Oh my gosh, you didn't have to do that. Okay, so I think about that, okay? With Christmas coming up, how much time, energy, and effort do you put into thinking about getting the perfect gift for your kids? Okay, I can tell you, over the last couple of years, we put a lot of effort into it, especially now that they are getting older and gifts are getting a little more expensive sometimes, and that kind of thing. Like, I put a lot of thought into it. I love Christmas morning for my children to wake up and see their gifts. I love that. I put a lot of hard work. I put a lot of thought, energy, time into finding them the perfect gift or gifts. I find things that fit their personality. I try to find things that are going to pique their excitement. I try to find things, perfect gift for Hannah or for Hunter or for Brinley, Bryson, Brooklyn, all of them. Okay, so then we get to Christmas morning. They're all sitting on the couch, ready to open their gifts. And this does not happen, by the way. But what if this happened? What if I had this perfect gift from one of my children? And I was so excited. I couldn't wait for them to open it. Okay. And there they go, tearing into that gift, and they open it up. And they're excited, and they're like, this is amazing, and I love it. And then they look over at their sibling, and they say, here you go, you can have it. You can have my gift. It's probably for you. I don't think that was meant for me. Mom and Dad probably made a mistake. You would love it so much more. Okay, so here's what would happen in my heart as the mommy. One, I would be so excited about that gift for them, okay? Would I have some sort of little, oh gosh, you're such a sweet child when it gives its gift that it loved over to its sibling? Yes, but I'm going to tell you, I would be so disappointed. I would be like, no, wait, that was for you. I have a perfect gift for them. Don't worry, they're about to open their gift. But this gift was for you. I thought about you when I was buying it. This gift is your personality, girlfriend. It's all over it. This is for you. And it's not that my child didn't want the gift. Oh, they were excited. They wanted the gift. But the problem was my child didn't feel worthy to accept the gift and wanted to give it to someone else. I'm not telling you not to be a giver. But what I'm telling you is that God has given you gifts, you specific gifts. God has given you specific talents, not for you to minimize them and pass them off to somebody else, or to think that it's not meant for you, or to think that you're not good enough for that gift. What are like your fears and stuff? Like I think about, like, I'll be honest with you, I am naturally a more introverted person. I like to be at home. I like to do things that are quiet. I love reading. I love, that kind of stuff. I do enjoy going and doing things, but my personality naturally is a little bit more introverted. I'm real comfortable in my warm environment, but I can tell you this, the thought of public speaking or being on a stage to talk to somebody, or even when I had to get up in front of, we did this little tea party for my GA girls 2 years ago, and they invited all of their friends and family in the whole 9 yards. And it was a phenomenal little event for our little church and for our little girls. But in my mind, I was thinking, well, I'm just going to be up there presenting awards to these little girls and to the couple of their parents. And when their grandparents and stuff started showing up and their friends, and they were filling up this, we had to get more chairs. I was like, fear just set in, and I had to go talk and do all these things in front of all these people. And I can tell you, like, I wanted to be like, here's your reward. Thank you. Bye. And just shut it down. I had to step out of my comfort zone, and I had to do it. And I will tell you, it did not go very well. I was like all over the place with my words. Fear was like enabling me. It was awful. But I can tell you that since then, over the last year, I've had to speak in front of people before. And it's gone a lot better because I have a different level of confidence in myself now. And that I'm still working on, totally still working on. And y'all get to work on this with me. But I'm finding my worth in this opportunity. And there are some incredible, you're going to see in our goals this week, there's some incredible podcasts out there. And one of our challenges this week is to get involved in one of them that develops you business-wise. But back to the gift. So when we consume our mind with things like, maybe this just isn't meant for me, or she has so many, that's probably for her, because that is like, she's really good at this. And, oh my gosh, this girl knows all these people. So this is definitely for her. Or, you know what? She stays at home. She's got more time on her hands. So yeah, this is definitely that kind of thing for her. This is great. Or it can be flipped. You know what? That girl works in a school. How many people she sees? She's got it at her fingertips. All of those apply. We're all saying the same thing. We're all saying self-doubt. But what we have got to do is to, one, pray. You are not here by accident. God chose you for this opportunity. Nobody forced you to start on Plexus. If you felt forced, we can talk later. But nobody forced you into this. You are here because at the perfect opportunity, the perfect time, God brought a friend into your life that introduced you to this incredible opportunity. And the cool thing about God and his opportunities is that he's always like 15 steps ahead of us. So when those blessings and when those times for learning and molding ourselves come, and we're like, wait, I'm not worthy. Wait, are you sure this is for me? Girls, guess what? It is, because he's already got a plan for it. Like in 30 days, something else is going to happen. Like he's already planned it. It's already happening. Your self-worth has to increase before your net worth can increase. You've got to be willing to be worthy. And there is nothing more disappointing than being a parent, I know, and looking into the eyes of your child and them not feeling worthy or good enough. And there was a little activity that Jessica Heffley's podcast did, and I'm going to take it a little further. And I want you to think about like these words that I know we all deal with. We're going to go back to the symptoms. Comparison. Oh, she's got it. I don't. Doubt. Maybe this just isn't for me. Disappointment. Well, it didn't happen this month. Unfulfillment. I mean, I'm just not getting to where I want to be. Go back in there. Sorry. Go back in there. Go back in there. Okay. Go back in there with Brooke. Okay. Go back in there with Brooke, please. Back in there with Brooke. Sorry. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Sorry. Hannah is on her way. Mommy is on a call. Go. All right, go upstairs with Hannah and talk to her, please. Go in there with Hannah. Thank you. All right. I'm so sorry. But hey, that's real life, right? That's where it's at. So when we have all of those insecurity mindset going on, it is impossible. You're gonna have to give me 2 seconds. I gotta get my thoughts back together. Sorry about that. We were talking about, oh, Jessica Heffley. Okay, got it. All right, so it is impossible to grow exponentially when you have those things. So could you imagine, like I'm gonna think about my girls here, okay? Could you imagine taking your daughter, most of us all on these calls have daughters or sons, either way it can work, and saying to them, you know what, you're just not good enough. You know what, you're not meant for this. Maybe that's for somebody else. Maybe you should try something else because you're really just not that good at that. Who are you kidding? Like, are you pretending to be that? Like, girl, just don't, just never gonna happen for you. I'm sorry. Could you imagine ever looking at your child and saying those words to them? The answer should be no. But guys, we can't say it to ourselves because our Heavenly Father is looking down, and that is not what He is saying to us. Not what He's saying to you. Don't say something to yourself that you would not repeat to your daughter. When those thoughts come into your mind, because I'm going to go ahead and tell you they are a reflection of us. And if those are the things that we are thinking, those are the same things that we are projecting. Now, they may not be taking it onto their self and thinking those things, but they are thinking those things about how so with our kids being younger right now, if they hear those things, they're thinking, oh, that's what mom thinks about herself. That's not the example I want to set for my girls or my boys. I want them to believe that they can do anything that has been laid upon their heart and that they will do exactly what God has planned for them. And if I am exuding anything less than that, they're never going to believe in themselves to do it as well. And so we've got to really captivate all of this negativity that goes on inside of our head. For one, it's unhealthy. And for two, that's not the legacy we want to leave for our kids. We want to leave our kids, you think about when you die and you've got your will and you're leaving your kids all this great stuff. But guys, what are we leaving them mentally, spiritually, and emotionally? Where are we leaving them? Because we have an incredible opportunity here to leave them blessed. But are they going to take it and say, but at what cost? So remember that God doesn't make mistakes. And this opportunity goes beyond a financial blessing. And it is meant for you. If you have access to this call today, it is meant for you because you're already here and God already chose you to be here and God doesn't make mistakes. And so if you wake up every morning and you still have this incredible desire to help people, and you wake up every morning and God intentionally puts people around you that have health concerns or money concerns, then you're still in the right place. And you're still at the right job, at the right time, with the right solution. People around you. And we are going to grow exponentially over the next year. I just know that. Within ourselves and outwardly. But I want every single one of you to be ready for it. I want you to be ready for it, to receive it. Because the worst thing that could happen is if this time next year we're on a call like this reflecting back in 1 year and we're still stuck feeling like it, not able to receive it, when the whole time we could be receiving it, ingesting it, holding on to it, and being ready for more for the next year. All right. So let's figure out which one of those insecurities is applying to us. Maybe there's multiple, maybe it's all of it. I don't know where you're dealing with it at that point. I know which ones are mine, and I know which ones that I have to actively get rid of. And so Phelan Black said, say it to yourself until you actually believe it, right? Okay. It goes back to that whole fake it till you make it. But here's the deal. You're not faking it. Convince yourself. So here's something really cool. It's a really cool testimony, is that Phelan Black said that when she was stuck at senior gold, or gold, whatever it was, for 2 solid years, she started telling herself, I have the fastest growing team in Plexus. I have a team that's working hard. I have incredible leaders. I am a person of influence. I am a diamond. Started telling herself these things. And guys, in 14 months, where she was stuck at 2 years, when she started telling herself these things and believing these things, it took her 14 months to go from gold to diamond. And you know what? She did have the fastest growing team in Plexus. She was on that stage at convention last year as in honor for having the fastest growing team in Plexus. I'm not saying that you can play God or anything like that, but I will tell you this, God gives us an opportunity, and what you do with that at what level is on you. And, you know, I plan on speaking those types of words of affirmation over this team. And I think that we are all in a position to have incredible testimonies this time next year. So what I want to leave you with is this. This is for you. This is absolutely for you. And we absolutely want to do it with you. So let's get rid of those insecurities. Let's give it to God. And let's start speaking the opposite. And don't pick those things back up again. Drop it off like garbage in the dumpster. Leave it out there for the trash man to pick up. And when you feel those thoughts of insecurity coming back into your mind, those words coming back into your head, like Jessica Hapley said, and pivot yourself and turn that thing around. I am worthy. I can do this. I already have everything that it takes to be at the top, or to be wherever it is you want to be a senior gold, to be a ruby, to be whatever it is. You already have everything you need, because this opportunity and this company has all of the tools to get you where you want to be. The outcome depends on you, depends on your mindset, depends on what you truly believe. So I hope you guys have a absolutely fantastic day today. And as always, know that we're all in this together, and we are all actively praying over each other. And I just pray that you will spend time focusing on those 3 questions and really trying to figure out, like, is my soul or soil primed for the abundant blessing that God has?